How's about we just act as though me proposing to you recently never actually happened, Veronica? We're going to stop thinking about getting married. I'm sorry, but let's split up today. I've considered a few things about the two of us, and I just don't think this will work anymore.
What? Wait a second, Raymond. What do you mean we should give up on getting married? You only just proposed to me a week ago, right? And I was so happy to finally be proposed to by you.
And so I'm asking you to act as though something like that never happened between us. I don't want to get married to you anymore. So just forget all of that and let's go back to the way things were a few weeks ago.
I don't understand what's going on here. You had only told me a few days ago that you wanted to grow old and happy with me. Yet now you're asking for us to split up? What the heck is this?
Actually, my mom ended up being against us. And after talking to her for a bit about things, I came to the conclusion of doing as she said and stopping this marriage between us.
What? You're telling me that your mom doesn't want us getting married?
After all the time of her being okay with it, I was so surprised to hear from her that she didn't want us getting married anymore.
Why is she against us getting married now, though? We've been together for almost 10 years now. And during those 10 years, I had seen your mom plenty of times and chatted with her. We've even gone out with one another shopping plenty of times. And now you're saying that your mom no longer wants me to marry you?
She told me that you're a good woman and all, but you're getting too old now and that I need to find someone younger. She followed up by saying that since you're over 30 now, there's only unhappiness waiting for us.
What?
My mom had gotten married when she was 20 and then gave birth to me. And since then, she's always been home as a housewife for all of us. But since you're 30 years old and still don't have experience with kids, as well as aren't planning on quitting your job after we marry, she told me to just give up.
Excuse me?
As a girlfriend or toy, you're fine, but as a wife, there's no need for you. My mom told me that very clearly.
And you're just okay with what your mom said to you? You're going to do as she told you?
Well, my mom promised me that in return for letting you go, she'd introduce me to a much more young and beautiful woman.
Huh?
I think she's gotten pretty close with this one young girl who's working at the flower shop in town. She just happened to show me her picture just the other day. You'd think she was a model with the amount of beauty she radiates. And she told me that if I think I want to marry a woman like her, then it's totally fine to say goodbye to you.
You're kidding me. That's your reason for wanting to throw me away?
At least you were a good girlfriend these past 10 years, so thanks. Now let's both of us find our true loves and marry them instead.
But you and I have been together for 10 whole years. Ever since we both went to university together. I get that I'm 30 years old now, but I thought that we'd finally be ready to get married. But now you're saying at this time that you're throwing me away because I'm too old?
I know that you're an old woman now, and finding someone to marry you will be tough. But just try your best. Right. Can you make sure to give me back the engagement ring I gave to you? And if we aren't seeing each other again, then send that sucker in the mail for me.
You are the worst. I never once thought that you'd turn into this kind of a man. But I guess throwing away those 10 years of us dating is a whole lot better than throwing away my life getting married to you. I never want to see you around me again.
I think that if I'm going to get married, I'm better off with you. So, Veronica, can you get back together with me?
Huh? Why are you talking to me again? You're asking me to get back together with you? You remember what you did and said to me 5 years ago, right?
I'm sorry about back then. After dating you for 10 years, I accidentally threw you away. I ended up going out with that woman my mom showed me when we were apart, but things didn't go too well between us and we immediately broke up. I've been trying to get with other women, but they all ended up being duds as well. So now I see that I can only marry someone like you.
So you couldn't get along with anyone else, huh? And now you want to get back together after we only had 10 years of dating each other?
Well, when trying to date them, nothing ever got anywhere, and everyone would end up saying that they wanted to break up before dumping me. For some reason, we just never could make anything last. But you and I had 10 years together, right? And in your case, I'm the only option you have now, right?
Not happening. Now goodbye forever.
Hey. Don't be so cold to me right now. I know that you're happy deep down that after 5 years, I'm talking to you again.
Huh?
And you happen to be doing well on your own and make some decent money. And even my mom said that it might be worth getting back together with you. So she really wants the two of us back together.
But I don't want to date you whatsoever. You threw me away in the worst way possible, so I'm done playing games with you. Now, never talk to me again. Hey, Veronica! Why are you saying you're not getting back together with my son? This is the perfect chance for a used-up woman like you to find a man that will marry you. Now go back to him and tell him with all your heart that you do want to date him. Huh? Isabel? I'm even letting you know that I'm fine with you marrying my son now. You are a 35-year-old woman now and need to get a grip. I'm telling you that even though you're old, a man is ready to marry you. You shouldn't take this chance for granted. Now hurry up and make up with my boy. Now who the hell do you think you're talking to? Wasn't it you in the first place that made him and I break up? You forced him to believe that marrying me would be awful for him, and so he threw me aside. And now you seek to get me back with him? And back then, I was thinking about my son more than anyone, and that's why I wanted you both to break up. I knew that if he had a baby with a woman over 30, there'd be a chance that the kid would come out defective. What? And when he marries someone, they'll become part of the household, right? Yet you said you wouldn't quit your job to stay at home. You are not only a worthless wife, but a worthless woman, and that's why I told him he could not marry you. Then why are you asking me to forgive him and get back together now? I've gained another 5 years now, so that could only mean that I've grown more worthless, right? And right now I'm still working my job that I said I'd never quit. I don't want to let my son get too old without finding someone to make his wife. So to keep that from happening, I guess I'll settle with some grandma marrying him. Huh? I want my son to hurry up and end up with a wonderful wife that I can take advantage of. I want to relax here soon, and I want to have a grandchild as well that I can spoil. I also will need someone here to take care of me instead of my son now that my legs don't work too well. Are you seriously thinking of having me do all of that for you? I really wanted him to have a younger wife, but for some reason or another my son couldn't make things work with them. I had so many women lined up for him, but he'd always end up getting broken up with. And during that time, I found out I'm sick. And so if I let my son continue to be single, I'll never be able to receive good health care from him. Really? You're sick now, Isabel? There was a tumor discovered in my stomach. But it wasn't cancerous, and so they were able to remove it with a simple surgery. But during that time, I thought about some things. If that were to happen to me again, I'd need someone, even you, to be here to care for me. You also want a grandbaby and for me to take care of you in your later years? Why are all of these things advantages for you and your son? What? You should be happy about all of this as well, right? You're a used item that's in their 30s now, and someone is offering to marry you. All right? Stop trying to carry all of this out and hurry up and marry my son. Then hurry up and have a wedding and get to making me a grandbaby.
Veronica, sorry about yesterday. I didn't take into full consideration of your feelings yesterday. I already know that a single grandma like you is ready to marry someone like me that's offering this chance to you.
Huh?
I was thinking last night why you should end up saying no to my request to get back together with me. And after having that time to think, I finally came to an understanding. There was something you wanted to hear from me first. you wanted me to ask you to go out with me again, right? Like when we first started dating? I'm sure you've been waiting for me to propose to you again as well, huh?
Raymond? Are you sure you're not just thinking of things as being in your favor?
I'm going to propose to you once again, Veronica. Let's you and I get married right now. We've already been together for 10 years, so let's make it official. We may have been far apart for the last 5 years, but our feelings for one another haven't changed, right?
Why do you think that? Nobody has been wanting for you to propose to them right now.
It's fine, Veronica. I already know everything that you want from me. The ring you gave back to me 5 years ago is once again going to be placed on your ring finger.
No. You have zero idea what I want from you right now. I am not going to get back together with you because it's impossible. You threw me out years ago for some other woman, so go back to fishing for another one that might bite at your proposal.
Hey, what's wrong, Veronica? I've been giving you all you wanted, like this proposal, and you've always wanted me to come back to you. So please, let me get back together with you now, and let's get married.
What?
Look, I am so sorry for throwing away those 10 years we had together. But I'm gonna let you marry me now, so thank me later.
I am already married and have 3 kids.
Huh?
I found myself a splendid man to marry, and we've been enjoying one another ever since. And we happen to have 3 kids together, so every day for us is busy. So I'm telling you that I have 0 time to hang out with an idiot like you. And so because of all this, I'm going. This better be the end of any more funny business from you, okay?
What? Wait a minute. What do you mean you're married now? And on top of that, you already have 3 kids?
It's been 5 years now, so we've been going a while. We happened to find each other pretty quickly, and after dating briefly, we got married. And having our 3 kids has made me one happy 35-year-old. Thank goodness I never ended up getting back together with any men that thought it was a good idea to throw me away.
No. There's no way that at all that you're married. Because when you and I broke up, you were already 30 years old. There's no way some old hag could find a man willing to date and marry her.
What does being 30 have to do with me being an old hag? I was able to find myself a man I liked, and after dating a little, we married.
But that's...
I'm sure at your age, if you try hard like I did, you'll find someone that'll marry you. I won't be the one becoming your wife, but there has to be some poor soul out there willing to marry you out of pity. And between you and me, you should find that someone soon so that your mom stays happy.
Shut up! I don't need you worrying about me or my mom. You just stabbed me in the back. You had me with you all that time, and yet you went out and married another man?
Excuse me?
And now you both have kids? Why would you have 3 kids with him, you idiot? I bet they're all disabled in some way. Now you have to take care of 3 poor kids that will end up homeless someday. I'm so happy to hear you live a life of pain and suffering after stabbing me in the back.
What about my life is pain and suffering, Raymond? I have myself a husband and 3 kids that I'm surrounded by and could never ask for more.
He must be some lousy man if he was willing to marry a woman in her 30s then, huh? I bet he's ugly as hell and is without a job right now. Might as well add the term brain dead in there since he somehow let himself have kids with you.
Raymond!
And now you have to share 3 delinquents with him. I bet there's not enough money to go around in your house, and those kids will have to end up being uneducated. But I guess since they're all disabled and dumb, you couldn't teach them anything in the first place. They had to all get the DNA of their brain-dead dad and have an IQ of a monkey.
Hold on! Just because you couldn't marry me and have gone off the deep end doesn't mean you can make fun of my family. I won't forgive childish behavior like that of any kind.
But everything I've said is facts, right? 3 disabled kids? Man, your life must suck now.
I am still working full-time at my job, and compared to 5 years ago, I'm doing a whole lot better. And my husband is doing well himself, running his own company. And because of the wealth we amass, we are able to have and support 3 kids with no problem to our bank.
Huh? He has a company?
We have both worked hard together and made enough money for all 3 of our kids. And as for our kids, they are all so cute and have been doing great when it comes to learning. So this is not the type of family that an idiot child can be making fun of.
Hey, wait. Are you being serious when you say your husband runs his own company?
The company itself is small, but it makes up for that by bringing in large sums of money. Even when things aren't going as great, we have enough from the company to hire a babysitter and some cleaning ladies to take care of the house while him and I relax on vacation.
What?
And I'm no longer going to let you get away with harassing my family's name like that. Before you even think about trying to make fun of another person's family, maybe take a look at what you have and make fun of that. Hi, Veronica. I heard about everything from Raymond. He told me that you seem to still not want to marry him. That's because I'm with another man now, and we've been happily married. We also have kids, and so I've never thought of marrying Raymond. What the hell do you mean you're married? You tell that husband of yours to leave you and come back here and marry my son. If you really have to, you can bring your kids along with you. Then I can at least become a grandma with my 3 little grandkids. Please, don't say things like that. You're scaring me. Why would I ever do something like that? I'm being very serious right now. So hurry up and leave him and come marry my baby boy. Even you know that you'd be happier with Raymond. Well, let me ask you this then. A husband that has his own company, or a husband that has nothing but minimum wage, and 3 adorable babies, or a husband that acts like a child? Which one of those paths would you think I'd be more happy with right now? What? You'd probably choose the path that has me with the company-owning millionaire and the 3 adorable babies. And if you choose for me to go with Raymond, can you tell me what the merits of that would be? Ugh! Are you saying that my own baby boy has nothing to offer you as your husband? Oh, so you do understand what I mean. That's exactly what I'm saying, yes. This is not the time to play games with me. Just because you have a decent life there doesn't mean you can turn down marrying my son. Well, if this is how you're going to act, then never mind. I'll give up on you marrying my son, but you have to give me one of your 3 kids. I want him to become my new son. What the absolute frick is wrong with your head, Isabel? I would never even think that giving you one of my kids is okay. Then have your husband introduce my son to some CEO friends that are women. He has to know at least some women that are either CEOs or have parents that are and are loaded. So you have to help him find one of those women for my boy. It's your son that's the problem, Isabel. Nobody wants to marry a child like him. I can see that this is getting nowhere, so I'm leaving. You'd better hurry up, though, you hag. Your clock is ticking, and you still need to find someone that'll marry your son and will give you grandkids and will be willing to take care of your old crippled butt.
What is going on? Your husband? I never knew he was that handsome looking and that swole. How did you end up finding someone like him over me?
Did you happen to run into my husband somewhere?
That guy came to the company I work at today. He was coming looking to become a customer of our company and wanted to introduce himself. I can see that the company he has is on everyone's radar, and the moment he walked in, he was taken right away to my CEO's office.
Wow, that's amazing of him, right?
And during that, I was sitting right there. For a moment, he started talking to me. He told me that he's heard all sorts of stories about me from you. And then he told me that he's glad I broke up with you because she's better off with him.
My gosh, what a man. I can't believe he even thought it was worth it to talk to you.
That jerk just embarrassed me in front of the whole office. And then my boss asked him if he really knew me. And then he took my boss into his office and started telling him all about me. He even brought up you and I dating and that after 10 years I threw you away. And then followed up by telling him about how I've been trying to marry you. And then he finished by telling my boss how I'm looking for someone to have a baby with and to use help to care for my aging mother. What the hell? And after that, everyone in this office is giving me the cold shoulder.
Dang. I'm glad he's made things more interesting for you.
Nothing is interesting about this, though. Now that everyone knows about what's happened between you and me, I've been getting faces from everyone and nobody wants to talk with me. Why did you guys do this to me? I don't think I can even go into the office anymore.
Then just quit your job and find someone to marry. I'm sure if you used the time you usually work to start looking for a woman, you'd find one eventually that'll pity marry you. Now I have to get back to my husband so that the two of us can start making tacos. And just like that, I never received another text or call from Raymond. And the word around town is that he has still not found himself a woman willing to marry and have babies with him. And I'm sure, due to all the worrying of her son never getting married, Isabel ended up fainting and going to the hospital. But while being admitted to the hospital, she would continue to try and get the nurses to marry her son, and so things ended with her even being kicked out of there. And as for Raymond, even though he's the clown of the office now and nobody wants to talk to him unless it's to laugh at his face, he started to stalk new hires that were women asking them if they'd like to marry him. Of course, this did not slide, and soon his boss found out and took Raymond into his office and fired him on the spot. I sure can't wait to see what Isabel's reaction will be to something like that. I'm sure she'll be furious, but at this point, she'd better just give up on her son, as I'm pretty sure he's not going to change any of the problems that turn every woman off. As for my family, we're continuing to enjoy every day of our lives together under the same roof. My husband has become huge business partners with the company that Raymond once worked for. And him and the CEO of that company love going out for drinks to talk about how crazy he was. I have to say, I married the right man after learning that he called Raymond out like that. Or, I suppose, exposed him like that in front of literally everyone. It just makes me so happy knowing that I have a man that loves me so much.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
When am I going to be getting my gifts from you? I have been waiting this whole time for you to message me or something about giving me my gifts, Ruby. What? Your gifts? You've heard about how Richard is moving up in the world at work, right? I thought it was pretty normal for a mom to want to give her son and his wife gifts after succeeding as much as he has. Things like a nice watch and jewelry, or maybe money to go out to a really fancy dinner. Is that not going to be coming to us or something? I've heard about him getting that promotion, but I'm sorry, Leah. My family's never been really that big on celebrating things like that, at least not with gifts. What? So you're telling me there are no presents or anything coming from you then? I've been waiting this whole time for something to come, though. I feel that Richard would be far more happy to get a gift from you for his success than from me. So please treat him to something nice as his wife. Huh? Why do I have to be the one to treat him to a gift? I've been the one supporting him day and night so that he could get that promotion. In other words, his success is the result of both our hard work. I should be getting treated to something for his success as well and not have to be the one treating him. What? This is why I want you to do something for once and treat us for our success. I've been waiting a long time now for you to send me some kind of a text about the presents we should be receiving. Excuse me? And one other thing. Could you hurry it up with the money we need to pay for our wedding? I've been waiting for you to get back to me about that for a long time now. I've already sent you the cost of the wedding and everything like that, so get to it and get that money over to us. Wait a second. What do you mean you want money from me for your guys' wedding as well? We were just talking about Richard's promotion, and now we've jumped over to talking about your guys' wedding? You say we jumped to it like this came out of nowhere for you. Isn't it normal for you, the mother of Richard, to be the one helping us pay for his wedding? What? What is going on with these reactions of yours? Are you going to tell me now that this is also something you guys don't do in your family? Well, normally it's the husband and wife that'll end up paying for the wedding, right? I can totally agree with us paying a small portion of the wedding costs, but I will most certainly not be paying for the whole thing. Why not? This wedding is going to be the wedding of your oldest son, right? The wedding of the very important firstborn son of your family, right? Yet you're trying to tell me that you're not going to be paying for his whole wedding? This is very strange if you ask me. I can see what you're trying to get at there, but this family does not treat the firstborn any different from the rest of my children. And in this family, he doesn't get treated any better or raised any differently in the hopes he'll someday be taking over a family business. But it is a fact that Richard is the firstborn son of your household, right? Which means when you ever have a problem or something goes sideways, he's the first person you'll be relying on, right? Well, that's because he's family. We will get in touch with him whenever there's something we need. Then I think right now is the best time to show your thanks to us for the future of us always having to be there for you, don't you? If you don't start showing us how much you want our help, then expect for your future to not be as bright as you might be hoping. What was that? Now hurry it up and get that money ready for us. This is the wedding of your very important firstborn son after all. Hey, Richard, have you and Leah really not saved up any money for your wedding? And that's why you and her were showing me how much the wedding would cost in total?
What? What are you talking about? I thought it was pretty obvious that I'd be paying for her wedding. If me, the groom, won't be the one paying for the wedding, then who will be?
What? Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Wait, did you think me showing you the bill for the wedding meant that I was waiting for you guys to pay for it? Sorry about that, Mom. Leah had just been whining in my ear over and over about showing you how much the wedding would cost. So to get her to shut up, I went and showed you to the bill and all that.
Well, if that's the case, then okay. But are you really going to be able to pay for all of it? Because I was just told by Leah herself that she wanted me to start getting the money for the whole wedding prepared and sent over to her.
What? Leah said that to you?
Yeah, I was shocked when she told me that.
Wait. Leah doesn't have a reason to be saying something like that to you, right? What's going on with you, Mom?
What?
I plan on paying for the whole wedding myself, and Leah should already know about that. Yet you're now telling me she comes to you and asks that you pay for the whole wedding? There's something not quite right about that, Mom.
But I really did receive a text from her saying that. She thinks that because you're the oldest son in the family, your parents should be the one paying for your wedding. And she was saying that us paying for the wedding would be for your dad's and my future as well. Richard, please don't tell me you're not telling me the whole story here and that you really are trying to get money from your dad and I right now?
I would never do something like that to you guys. And your guys' future? We aren't planning on ever moving in with you guys or anything then. So I'm not sure why you giving us money for the whole wedding means anything there. Even you and Dad want me living in my own separate house in the future, right?
Well, I hope that's the case then. But why would she bring something like that up with me when she should already be aware of your plans?
I'm not really sure myself, but perhaps it was something I said that made her a bit confused? Or maybe... could this be her feeling a bit nervous about getting married to me and all that? We are planning on having a very expensive wedding, so perhaps the cost of the wedding is making her worried about our future together?
According to that bill, it sure does seem like you two want to have one gorgeous and extravagant wedding. $80,000 for a wedding is almost 3 times as much as your dad and I spent on ours. We are both very surprised by that amount.
Oh, well, I might have gone a little overboard in order to impress Leia more. She has always been really good with her money and has saved up a lot in her life so far. When we'd go out on dates, she'd never ask that I pay all that much. And when it came to giving her presents, she never asked for anything all too expensive. When it came to her engagement ring, she told me to keep the price of it very low.
Wow, is that right?
So I'm starting to think that me asking for this huge wedding is a bit of a mistake on my part. Before, she told me that we didn't even need to have a wedding or anything. But of course, I can't marry her and not give her a wedding. Also, I'm really looking forward to seeing her in a white wedding dress. I also told her that our parents would really look forward to us having a wedding, so we should be doing it for them as well. That at least got her feeling alright about us having this whole wedding.
No, wait a minute. You had to tell her that in order to get her to allow you two to have a wedding? You've made it look as though it's your dad and I that want you guys having this wedding, and less about what you both want? I can see now why she really wanted us to pay for it.
Wait, you think so? Oh. Well, I'm sure you guys really have been wanting me to have this wedding, right? You're going to be given the chance to see your son get married to a wonderful woman.
Well, of course we're happy about that.
Anyway, you and Dad don't have to worry about paying for anything, alright? You guys already know I'm making enough to pay for everything, no problem. So you can just ignore anything else Leah tells you.
I cannot believe that you guys didn't even give us a single penny for this wedding. What the hell is going on here, Ruby? What? Once the wedding was over, I went and looked inside that envelope you handed Richard. All you gave us was $10,000. Are you trying to make us feel bad or something? Even when not paying for the whole wedding like you should be, I expected at least $30,000 from you and your husband. This was the wedding of your firstborn, and this is how we're going to be treated? What is wrong with you? Now, could you please calm down there, Leah? That $10,000 was meant to be quite a lot from us, too. Also, it seems that you are still a bit confused on what happened with your wedding, so I'll explain this again. In this family, my husband and I do not treat our firstborn kids differently from the rest of the kids. So please do not keep expecting us to give him some sort of special treatment or anything because of that. But this is your oldest's wedding, right? And he'll be the one getting everything from you guys later on, right? On the internet, it says that the firstborn son is always treated with the most respect in the family. That's why I assumed you guys would be paying for his whole wedding. What? At the start, I never wanted us to have a wedding. Richard kept going on about how he'd use his savings to pay for the whole thing, but we're already married, and that means his money is my money now. So even if he's willing to pay for the whole thing, it's my money that's being used to do so. But he told me that we had to have a wedding because you and your husband have really been looking forward to one. So I just assumed that you guys would be the ones paying for this whole wedding on our behalf. Then my money wouldn't have to be wasted on anything, and I could use it for myself. I can see there are a lot of things going on here. I think that the reason for all this confusion is due to you misunderstanding him. But also, you seem to think that all the money he made while single has become yours now? Also, that reason for thinking my husband and I should be paying for his whole wedding? Shut up! I'm not going to listen to some old hag nag me about any confusion when she didn't even fork over a single penny for the wedding. Did you just call me an old hag? I've had enough of this. Before today, you didn't give us anything to celebrate your son's promotion, and now you're not paying for any of the wedding. If you're just going to turn a blind eye to your firstborn son and his wife like that, then I'll be doing the same thing to you guys. He and I are now married, so we're not going to bother with you anymore. Don't expect us to ever be there for you guys in the future when you're both old and frail, requiring our care, you old penny-pinching hag. So now you're calling me a penny-pinching old hag? You act very different when my son is not around to witness you. I'm not sure what about the way you act makes you the wonderful woman he always bragged about. Huh? You think I'm really that stupid to ever act like this in front of the man who thinks I'm calm and cute? The reason that I married him is because he likes me, and I like him. I never got married to him to try and impress you and your husband, all right? And so far, I can tell you're trying to do anything but impress me. I want presents. I want money. And I have every right to be asking that from you. I'm the wife of your very important firstborn son. That's why I ask all of that from you. I hear all the time about how the firstborn son is supposed to be treated the best by his parents. And of all my friends that are married to the firstborn son, they always go on and on about how wonderful life is being spoiled by their in-laws. Some of them even got their house from their in-laws or a brand new car. And that's why I was thinking by being married to Richard, I would be blessed with the exact same things. That's a rather presumptuous hope that you have there. I understand that there are families out there that favor their oldest son most over anyone else. But hearing his wife say that she wants that from us, his parents? Well, I'm not going to hope from that from you guys anymore, so relax. But because of that, I want you and your husband to never ask anything from us. I'm not going to care for you in your old age when you're going to keep on acting like the penny-pinching old hag that you are. Since this is all going so well, how about we both cut ties to you guys as well? Excuse me? Well, you and your husband don't seem to want to do anything for us anymore, so all you are now is in the way of our beautiful future as husband and wife. And I don't want to have to deal with either of you getting in the way of Richard and I when you're too old to go to the toilet yourselves. Caring for your old butt is a big N-O from me. I'm going to have us cut ties to your moneyless butts right away. Well, then Richard can say goodbye to that promotion he got. What? I completely understand now what you seem to think of my husband and I. I'm not sure where your values lie when it comes to being part of our family and his wife, but from what I heard you just say to me, you only want to be around his in-laws if they're willing to hand you everything on a silver platter. If that's all you're here for, then we'll cut ties to both of you as well. And us cutting ties to you both means that Richard will no longer get his promotion. Then we might even have him quit his job at the company. Huh? I have no idea what's going on now. What exactly are you trying to say to me that would make me think you could ever decide that for Richard? Well, I have the ability to talk to the CEO about this and have him take that promotion away. Huh? You can talk to the CEO? That's right. Do you understand what I'm talking about now then? I'm the CEO of the company he's working for after all, so I can just tell myself to take that promotion from him and boom, it's gone. So if we're cutting ties to one another here, then he doesn't need that pretty little promotion he was gifted. And I can't just have him work for my company any longer as my son if we're going to be cutting ties to one another like you said. So I'll have him leave his position in the company as well. Wait, what is all this? I still cannot understand what's going on here. You're his CEO? Ruby? And Richard works for you? Is that right? I never heard a single thing about this, though. I'm sure you haven't, Leah. And that's because Richard never wanted to tell anyone about it. What? Actually, in his past, he had his one girlfriend that ended up talking with him about all of this, and that turned her behavior from being a lover for him into being a lover for his money. He also told some of his friends about my position as a CEO, and soon after that, they would never stop asking to borrow money from him. That soon became a real problem for him. So when he entered my company and started working, he made sure not to say a thing about his situation to anyone. That's why even in the company, there's not a single person that knows about Richard being my son. What? Nobody knows about who he is then? When being hired by the company, he made sure to practice hard and take the same interviews as everyone else. And this promotion he just received a few weeks ago was also due to his own abilities and wasn't just handed to him over nothing. But that's too bad for him. All that work he put in was for nothing now because his wife wants for both his parents to leave him alone forever. Poor guy. I feel bad doing this to him, but I have no other choice now. You are the one pressuring for us to cut ties to you both, just like you want to do to us now. This is such an unfortunate turn of events for everyone involved. Wait. I didn't actually hear anything about this being a thing. I just wanted to be a good wife for Richard, yet I was never told all of this important information by anyone. I never knew he was the son of a CEO like you. I'd actually been wanting to tell you all about this for the past few months now. But Richard wanting things to stay a secret from you, and so I had no choice but to keep my mouth shut as well. I feel so bad about that, but he is your husband, and this is all what he wanted. There's no way. I'll make sure to go and talk with Richard about both him leaving the company for me and about how we're all going to be cutting ties to one another now. Now you and him live a wonderful life together as husband and wife for me, please. Wait, please. I think I might have misunderstood some things. I was just comparing what all my friends had to what I was getting, and it made me feel terrible. And, well, that led to me thinking of you as some penny-pinching old hag, and that's why we started to treat you so poorly. All right, I understand that. I happen to have lots of friends with mother-in-laws just like that as well. They're married to the firstborn son, and they get treated to all sorts of things by their in-laws, even getting money from their in-laws whenever they ask for it. Right? And that's why I totally understand how you must have felt when you married my oldest son and became my daughter-in-law. But the way you acted out at me was both rude and childish. So I'm no longer going to sit around and take it from you. I can't anymore, actually. It's one thing for you to want this kind of treatment from his parents, but it's something completely different when you start to call me horrible names and threaten me with cutting ties to us. Right? You've really made me think twice about you now as my daughter-in-law. I hope you won't ask me to forgive you now after all those heartless things you've just been saying about me. I'll make sure that Richard is no longer working for me in the next few days. Have a wonderful day, Leah.
Thank you for coming to the wedding yesterday. Also, thank you for talking with me about all those things. I never thought that Leah would be saying such things to you behind my back. It's so hard for me to take in even now.
I can totally understand it's hard for you. You have been in love with her so much, and she was what you thought to be the one meant for you.
But even if it's hard for me to accept, it's a fact that she acted way too far out of line then. That's why I'll be handing in my 2 weeks notice really soon here. I hope you make sure to handle all that then after for me.
Wow, you seem to be completely fine with what I'd wanted yesterday then. I thought you'd be against leaving the company and would instead divorce her in order to save your job.
Well, I'm partially to blame for all this as well. I was the one that pressured her into having the wedding by telling her you guys and my parents were really looking forward to one. Had it all been her fault, then maybe I'd be wanting a divorce right about now. Also, we only just had the wedding yesterday. I was actually wanting to find myself a new job in the next year or two, so this will make for the perfect chance to do just that.
What? You were thinking about leaving my company for another job?
While working for you, I've always been a bit worried about someone finding out that I'm your son and all that. Especially during this recent promotion, I was really worried someone would think I didn't obtain it with my own strength, and that there was something else at play. Really, I just think I'd feel better working somewhere else besides your company. I hate to say that because, in all honesty, I don't think it would be that big of a deal if people within the company found out I'm your son. But then again, I don't want to deal with all the hassle.
Richard.
So, with what's happened recently, I think I'll make this the perfect opportunity to leave your company. I'll find myself a new company to work for, and there I'll continue to work hard so that I can get back up to the same level I left your company at. I want to know that there is nobody within the company who thinks I was handed all my promotions. I think that alone will make work a lot more relaxing for me.
That's a very good thing to do then for yourself. I know that once you leave, I won't be able to watch your back anymore, but at the same time, you seem to be very responsible for yourself, so I know you'll be just fine. And of course, I never once handed you anything while you worked for me, so I have full confidence that you can work your way up in a new company in no time.
Thank you, Mom. I'll do my best. I just hope that after everything that's happened with you and Leah, you don't think of her as a complete witch. I've learned a lot about her bad habits now, but I know deep down she still has all those good things I love about her. So I'll make sure, as her husband, that she works harder to fix those habits and turn herself into an even better woman.
If that's what you want to do, then I support you fully. But that support will only come from my heart, as for the time being, I won't be coming anywhere near you and her. I am so sorry about what happened yesterday. After that, I had a lot to talk about with Richard, and he told me a bunch more. From what it sounds like, you really are the CEO of the company he's working for. I am so sorry for acting like such a reckless person yesterday without ever knowing a thing about you. You really don't have to apologize to me like that. After a good night's sleep last night, I have been able to move past what happened then and am totally okay now. Then that means the both of us can start working towards becoming really close as a family. We can completely forget about everything that went down, and both you and I can become really good friends. Oh my, is that what that's all about? I thought you saw no merit in being part of my family. Aren't I supposed to be that penny-pinching old hag that you continue to call me all the time? What? I might not be upset about what happened yesterday anymore, but that does not mean I'm just going to forget about it. I'm sure you might have different opinions now compared to yesterday, but we promised to cut ties to one another, and that's what's going to happen. Isn't that all you wanted from me when we finished our little conversation yesterday? You have to be kidding me, right? Can't we just forget about wanting to do any of that? I happen to be a CEO and have a lot of things to do with the company I run, so there's no time for me to be playing games with you or your feelings anymore. No, I'm really sorry that you feel that way about all that. I'll apologize to you in person for all that, okay? So please just forget I ever mentioned wanting us to cut ties. I can't do that anymore. I told you I don't have time for games, and right now what you're asking me to do is continue with your games. And I've already gone and started working on ending my son's position within the company. He was the one that handed me his 2-week notice just a little bit ago, so there's really no stopping it now. What? He's already handed you his 2-week notice? He was right on it after we talked. Let me tell you, even he had been wanting to leave my company, so there were no hard feelings. That's a lie. Why would he want to leave your company like that? If he does that, he's giving up any chance he had of becoming the next CEO after you leave, right? That means I'll never be able to become the wife of a successful CEO in the future then. He was never going to just become the next CEO after me, Leah. If he were to work even harder and show me that he wanted the position, then I'd totally be fine with him having it. But now that he's told me he had plans to leave the company for months now, I can see even he doesn't want to become the next CEO. And I'm totally okay with that, because I'd rather make someone from within my company the next CEO, as they're showing me they want to support this company with their everything. What should I do? I was thinking this was my chance to become the wife of a CEO, but because of what I've done, I've led my husband to leave his mother's company, forfeiting any chance he had at becoming this next CEO. You really did throw away your one and only chance. Please! Allow me to get him to stay within your company instead of leaving it? Then will you please let him be the next CEO? If you can do that for me, then I'll make sure to be the best daughter-in-law you've ever had. No, thank you. I happen to be this really bad, penny-pinching old hag, so I would never accept even your most sincere apologies. Therefore, let that be my goodbye to you now. After that, Leah tried her hardest to both get Richard to stay within my company and to get me to turn back from wanting to cut ties to her. But then Richard told her one day to cut her crap and take responsibility for the words she'd said to me before. He told her that if she continued to try and get closer to me, that he'd divorce her, because he cannot trust a woman to be his wife who thinks they can just take their words back in an instant. and change their attitude like she was trying to do. Following that, Leah stopped trying to fix the mess she created for herself and now cries day and night about losing her one and only chance to become the wife of a CEO. When it comes to Richard, he was able to find himself a new job in just a few weeks, although he won't be making nearly as much as he was before. However, the anxiety of being the son of the CEO was no longer bothering him there, and he was able to relax while doing his job.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey Tina, I heard the big news. Is it true? Are you really going to get married? Oh wow, Jess, it's been so long since I last heard from you. But yes, it's actually true. We're going to try and have the wedding before the end of the year. Wow, really? Oh, that's coming up quickly though. Honestly, I really am surprised though. You used to be so shy and fat and ugly when we were in school together. In fact, I think it's just unforgivable that you think you can even get married before me. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what is all this all of a sudden? I get that you want to try and show that you're better than me by getting married first, but I just think that makes your wedding all the more sad. Honestly, did you really think that this would change the fact that you're still the same shy little downer that you always were? Do you really think that I'm getting married just so that I can brag about it to you? And why do you keep bringing up how I was in high school? And not only that, but who do you think you are to tell me whether I can or can't get married? You don't need to get so mad about it. I'm only being honest with you. After all, you've always been in my shadow ever since we were little kids. It's not just high school. All throughout our childhood, you could never once manage to outshine me. But I guess you think that this is your shot, huh? Jess, I really don't even know what to say to this. You don't actually think that's why I'm getting married, do you? Honestly, part of me can't even blame you for what you're trying to get away with here, but I still think that it's just pathetic. After all, I am clearly the much prettier, popular, all-around better one out of the two of us. So with that said, why don't you just give up on this silly wedding business? After all, I doubt that whoever you're going to marry can even be all that great since he's marrying you. Okay, Jess, you really are going too far. You don't need to start insulting my fiancé now. He is a really kind, sweet guy who cares a lot about me, and I won't let you badmouth him. So he's kind and sweet and cares a lot. Basically, what you're telling me is that you are going to marry someone ugly then, huh? Because who else would want to marry a woman like you? I doubt that this guy is even all that great. Probably just some loser who only has a part-time job at a grocery store or something. Jess, you literally have no idea what you're talking about, so please stop making so many assumptions about my fiancé. I'm just saying the only man I would ever let marry me would have to be working for a huge company and have a great salary. In fact, if you really want to know, I'm dating someone right now who is quite high up in the management for Orange Industries. Well, I didn't ask, I don't really want to know, and it's clear that you're just trying to gloat. But I'm afraid if that's who you're dating, your attempt to brag failed. What are you talking about? Are you saying that you're with someone even better than that? Well, it's just that my fiancé also works for Orange Industries, and last I heard, you work there as well, don't you? Hold on a second, are you serious about that? Please tell me that's some kind of a joke. Your fiancé really works at Orange? That's right. The guy that you said couldn't have anything but a part-time job is one of your coworkers. And his name is Josh, if you really want to know. You can probably guess who he is now, though. In fact, he's a branch director, so I wouldn't be surprised if you were actually working for him. Hold on a second, you're telling me you're going to marry Josh Beck? As in the Josh Beck? That's who you're going to marry? Don't tell me that you do actually know him. Wow, I was only guessing that you might have, but I guess I was right. No, this can't be right. I don't understand. Josh is all mine. He can't be marrying you. That's impossible. Not only are you going to be getting married before me, but you're going to try and take my man away from me too? You think you can just have an affair with another woman's man, get hitched and get away with that? Hold on just a second there. What do you mean that my Josh is also your Josh? You don't actually mean that you two are dating as well, do you? Of course we're dating. Who else did you think I was talking about when I said I was dating a man from Orange? I mean, Josh is the perfect package. He's handsome, smart, so young, and yet so high up in the company. How dare he choose some loser like you over me? Josh, pick up the phone right this instant. I am dead serious. Are you cheating on me? We are this close to narrowing down our wedding day, so please tell me this isn't happening. You're not actually going out with Jess behind my back, are you?
Tina, what in the world are you talking about? Do you really think that I'm cheating on you? Who's this even coming from? Who in the world is Jess?
Jess is a girl that I've known ever since I was little. She reached out to me when we were talking and she told me that she was dating you after I told her that you and I were engaged.
Wait, what? Did this lady really say that about us? Are you serious?
Yes, it's all true. She told me that you both worked at Orange Industries and that you were having a secret office romance.
Well, Tina, you have to believe me when I say that I've never ever cheated on you. I mean, I didn't even know that we had a Jess working in the office. Or at least certainly not in the department that I directly manage.
But she said that she worked at the same company with you and even said that you were the branch director.
Hold on a sec. Are you talking about Jess Jones? Is in the temp that we hired? You two are childhood friends?
Well, I wouldn't say that we're exactly friends, and I also have no idea if she's working as a temp or not.
Okay. Well, the only Jess that I know of working under me is Jess the temp. But I'd never really guessed that she'd pop up in my personal life like this. To think that she was really trying to say that her and I were dating, that's just crazy.
Why do you say it like that? Did something happen between the two of you at work or something?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really want to talk about this, but I guess now I really have no choice. But the thing is that her and I had a little trouble with each other earlier on. She kept telling other people in the office that her and I were going out as well, but it just was not true. You have to know that I'm telling the truth.
You're kidding me. So you mean she's been telling other people this same thing?
Yeah, but I guess maybe she wanted to try bragging to you since you two go way back. I don't want to sound rude, but she very much struck me as someone who looks down on others just because she's pretty. In fact, all of the temps that we ended up hiring were already married, so I always wondered if that's why she was telling people that we were together and engaged.
I don't even know what to say to that. That's just completely unhinged behavior. What is the matter with Jess?
I mean, I told her to stop spreading those rumours, and I always tried to correct what she told people, but I can't keep an eye on her all the time.
And, you know, she always was such a prideful person, even when we were in school together. I'm not really surprised that she refused to stop even after you asked her to. I remember she used to make up stories about dating popular boys at our school just to make herself look better. But then the truth would always come up, and the guy would always be so clueless when asked if he was really dating Jess.
Wow, it sounds to me like she's probably gotten pretty good at telling this same story.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's something she's had a lot of practice with. And I don't suppose there's any chance that you could transfer her somewhere else, right? I just really don't know how I feel about the two of you working too close together. Who knows what she'll try next?
Well, I don't think that you have anything to worry about. You see, Jess's contract actually runs up this month, so after that she'll have to go and find another job.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a huge relief to hear. Thank goodness.
Yeah, typically we hire our temps, but HR's report on her is just filled with misconduct, spreading rumours around the office, and her output of work is just so far below the peers she was hired with. And obviously we've tried lots of things to convince her to improve her quality of work, but whatever we say seems to go in one ear and out the other. So for now our strategy has been to be pretty hands-off until the contract runs up.
Oh, I see. Well, it sounds to me like that's the best thing to do to prevent any kind of drama from unfolding. And I just want to say that I am so sorry for accusing you of cheating on me before.
Oh, Tina, I have to say I was really surprised, but I understand now that we've talked out. Anyways, I've got to get back to it. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Tina, what is the matter with you? Why did you stop reading my texts? You know I can see when you've opened them, right? Anyways, I wasn't telling you how you don't deserve to get married before me. You do know that, right? Oh, Jess, I am so sorry to leave you like that. I was just talking to Josh a little about all of this. And he made it clear to me that you two have absolutely nothing going on. In fact, it sounds like he's actually actively trying to avoid you. Wait, what? Did he really say that? But of course he and I are dating. You really just need to give this a rest. I talked to Josh and he cleared up this whole thing for me. He told me all about how you've been spreading rumors all over the office that you two are together. But you really shouldn't be using people like that to try and fluff up your own reputation at work. Okay, well, sure, at first, when I started telling people about us, it was all a lie, but then Josh and I really did start going out and it stopped being a lie. He even proposed to me and we're supposed to be getting married. What in the world are you talking about? I mean, I can still remember the day he did it. I had no idea he could be so angry. He called me into his office and yelled at me about something to do with work or something, and that's when I felt it, the love that we had for each other. Love? What part of that sounds like love to you? Well, I went into his office and he had this really stern look on his face, and he asked me to quit lying to people around the office about us. But that means that he was telling me it wasn't a lie anymore and that we were going out together. Are you kidding me? Is that really what you got out of that statement? Of course it is, and he talked to me about how my contract is going to be coming up soon and how he and I should get married, but he really has such a subtle way with words. Jess, I have no idea what it is that he actually said to you, but I can guarantee that is not what he meant. I don't know what's going on in that head of yours, but it is not living in the same reality as everyone else. I don't know what to tell you. After all, Josh and I are already going to be getting married next month. I've already made my appointments to get my hair done and everything. I mean, the only thing that I can't wrap my head around is why you thought that you ever had a chance with a man like Josh. What are you talking about? You are literally delusional. Why can't you just wake up? Man, you are such a sore loser. Do you know that? You're just jealous because I have Josh and you don't, and you're finally having to come to terms with that. Are you kidding me? You're the one who has no idea at all about what you're talking about. But don't worry, I'll still send you an invitation to our wedding just so that you'll finally see that I'm telling the truth. Hey, when are you finally going to show up here? You really have got some nerve if you think I'll let you miss this. What are you even talking about right now, Jess? In fact, where is everybody? Even Josh's parents aren't here yet. In fact, I'm the only one here at all. Maybe everyone just got lost finding the place and are all going to show up soon? Wait, hold on a second. Show up where? Why are you waiting for Josh's parents? What do you mean, where am I? I'm at the wedding venue that Josh picked out for us to get married in. I'm here in my white dress waiting for the wedding party. But Hawaii isn't all that big, so I don't get how everyone is late like this. Wait a minute, you're in Hawaii right now? Well, duh, I told Josh that's where I wanted to get married, and he told me that he would make it happen. I really am so proud of him for doing this for me while he was so busy with work. It's always been my dream to get married in some kind of beautiful place like this, and now it's finally coming true. I don't even know what to say. I really hope this is some kind of big joke for your sake, though. Did you really fly all the way to Hawaii to get married? Hello? Haven't you been reading any of the texts that I've been sending you just now? So, anyways, are you almost here? The wedding is going to start soon, and I am still waiting for everyone to show up. I don't get how they could all be this late. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but we're all still in the city, and that's where our wedding is happening. So we're all still here back home. Nobody's going to Hawaii to see you get married. Wait, what? What are you talking about? That can't be right. I'm not getting married in the city. But if you're telling me that everyone's got the wrong address and is still in the city, then I'm going to be really mad. Seriously, what are you even talking about? I really just had no idea you would even take things this far. I mean, how did you actually get on a plane to Hawaii without realizing what a huge mistake you were making? Mistake? No, you're misunderstanding. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Everyone else made the mistake because they're still not here yet. I'm still waiting for everyone to show up here for my big Hawaiian wedding.
Jess, this is the last time I'll say this. You and I are not getting married. Nobody is going to Hawaii. Now please, just stop this.
Mr. Beck, is that you?
It is. And honestly, at this point, I have to say that I think I'm scared of you more than anything. I mean, to be so wrapped up in your delusions that you flew all the way to Hawaii. I think you should go and find a therapist or something.
Josh, how could you say that about me? That is so rude. And just why are you texting me from Jess's number? You're supposed to be here for our wedding.
Did you not read my message? I'm not marrying you, and I never, ever was. The only person I'm getting married to today is Tina.
No, you're wrong. You're marrying me, and I'm going to be your housewife and never have to work another day in my life. That's why you said that you weren't going to be hiring me after my contract ran out, right? Because we're getting married.
I seriously don't even know how to answer that. I told you we weren't hiring you because you've been a terrible employee. You've been telling everyone we're together after I asked you not to, and now you're harassing my fiancé. You've ignored everything I've been trying to tell you and insisting that your version of reality is the correct one.
Wait a second, you mean that you've really been mad at me this whole time?
Of course, I've been mad with you. But after a while I just gave up because I realised there's no point in talking to you. But anyways, I've got my own wedding to hurry about here, so I don't have time to deal with your craziness anymore. So good luck getting back home. I hope you brought a return ticket.
Wait, no, this can't be happening to me. We were supposed to be getting married. You're supposed to be all mine. You can't do this to me. You can't just leave me here. You're supposed to be mine, all mine. Apparently, Jess hasn't bought a return ticket because she thought that Josh and her were going to go on their honeymoon right after the wedding. She had also spent all of her money on nice clothes and getting her makeup done for the wedding, also thinking that she's gonna be able to rely on Josh for his money. By the time she finally flew back here, it was clear that she had been through quite a lot. She looked an absolute mess. The last thing that Josh ever did for her was to send a company vehicle to pick her up from the airport and drive her home. On the way there, Jess had it explained to her that her position with the company was terminated as her contract had finished. In the end, Jess ran to her parents to beg them for help. But they were just as aware of her delusions as the rest of us and refused to play along. In fact, they offered to let Jess live with them if she sought out psychiatric help for her issues. Jess insisted nothing was wrong with her, and without a job, money, or anywhere else to go, she had to say yes. I can only hope that with her parents' love and some good therapy, that Jess can realize the mess she made of her own life. As for Josh and I, we got married without any issues and continue to live happily as husband and wife. We blocked Jess and everything, changed our number, and Josh even put in a request to manage a different branch so that we could move. With any luck, that's the last we'll ever hear from Jess.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, Fiona, what the heck is your problem, huh? Why the heck were you out walking with our professor? What business do you have talking with him, huh? Who do you think you are? Professor? Tia, I'm sorry, but I have no idea who you're talking about. I am talking about Professor Gray. I saw you two go all the way to your house and he walked you in, so what was up with that? Hold on a second, I didn't know that you knew Jonathan. He's actually my fiancé, but where did you two meet? Hold on a second, you're telling me that the two of you are going to be getting married? Yeah, of course, but as you know, I still live with my parents, so the last time he came over was to meet them for the first time. I had no idea that you and John actually already knew each other, though, but I guess you do because you already knew he's a professor. You've got to be kidding me. I really just can't believe what I'm hearing. You're telling me Professor Gray is really going to be getting married? And to you, of all people? Hey, come on, what kind of way is that to talk about me getting married? I bet you're pretty shocked, though, huh? I mean, we've known each other for so long, but you know, you haven't even said congratulations once to me about this. Oh, give me a break. You really think that I would ever congratulate you for this? There is no way that I can believe what you're trying to tell me. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be the one to marry Jonathan, not you. So let me have him. I will make him mine. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I am talking about Professor Gray. He should be engaged to me, not you, so hand him over. Why would he even want to marry someone like you in the first place? This doesn't make any sense to me. How could you do this? I'm sorry, Tia, but I really have no idea what you're talking about at all right now. Are you actually saying that you and John are engaged? I don't have to give you my life story. You just need to hand him over to me. I refuse to let you get away with marrying him. I have always loved Professor Gray, and I'm the only woman good enough to be his wife. Got it? So just get away from him and give him to me. Jonathan, you have got some serious explaining to do. I am serious. What the heck is going on here?
Whoa, Fiona, what's going on? Is everything okay? Is this about something that happened when I was at your place today? Is everything okay?
That is not what I'm talking about, and you should know that. My parents were over the moon to meet you. But the thing is that I just got some very upsetting messages from an old friend of mine.
You got some upsetting messages? Were they about me? Which friend is it? What are you talking about?
It's a friend I've known since we went to school together. Her name is Tia, and I think that you might know her. In fact, she was telling me how you were her fiancé, not mine.
Wait, what? Someone actually said that to you? Is she being serious?
I don't know. I mean, she knew who you were, so I'm just confused and want to know what's going on here. How do you two know each other? What is this all about?
Fiona, I'm really sorry, but I'm pretty confused here. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. I do know a girl named Tia, but if you're telling me that she's been your friend this whole time, that's pretty surprising to me.
Well, you should know that she kept calling you Professor Gray and not by your name. So did you ever have a student named Tia or something like that? I know she was taking college classes as early as when we were back in high school.
Oh, really? So then she might have actually been at the college for longer than I expected.
Yeah, we were together through high school, but then we ended up going to different places for college. But anyways, she was always pretty sharp, and the school had a program to send students to college class if they were advanced enough.
I see. Well, okay, so we'd be thinking of a student I might have had back when you were just finishing high school. I don't know. I was teaching a lot of classes back then to be able to make ends meet. I just really am not sure I'd be able to remember a specific one.
But Tia was saying that you and her were engaged. Surely you should be able to narrow it down from that, right? I mean, did you ever go out with a former student or something like that?
Of course not. You know that I'd never ever do that. I'm not that kind of person at all. I might have gotten chocolate from some students on Valentine's Day or something like that, but you know the high standards that I hold myself to, and I would never do something like what you're implying.
Yeah, I didn't think that you really had it in you to do something like that. I just wanted to see how you'd react.
Well, if that was supposed to be a joke, then it wasn't very funny. Teachers have a duty to help educate their students, but they shouldn't take advantage of the positions they're in to be in inappropriate relations with them.
Okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't even serious when I suggested it. It's just that it's what Tia was saying to me.
Well, okay. Next time I go into the office, I'll look through my records, see if I can't find someone with that name. But I guess I'll be going back a while.
I really am sorry to ask you to do all of that, but it would be a huge help to me if you did. I get that this is probably just nothing, but I just don't think I'm going to feel okay until I understand what's going on.
Well, don't worry. I get why you'd be worried about someone saying something like this, and if it's going to put your mind at ease, then I don't mind doing this at all. So I'll check tomorrow and let you know what I find. If I find anything at all, that is.
I knew it. I knew that Professor Gray liked me more than he liked you, and that's why we're going to be getting married. Again with this? What are you talking about this time, Tia? I'm just saying that after I talked to you, I got a message from the professor. I told him how unfair he was being marrying another girl when I like him so much. I told him all about how I've been head over heels for him ever since I met him in high school, and he told me that he felt the same, and that's why we're going to be getting married. I don't know what you're talking about, but I really think there has to be some kind of mistake here. Jonathan would never say something like that. I get why you wouldn't want to believe what I'm telling you, but I'm only being honest. Nothing is going to change the fact that Professor Gray proposed to me. I guess you must be in absolute shock right now, right? Should I call an ambulance? Oh, I don't think that'll be necessary, but I am curious why you have his number in the first place. Oh, come on, you do know that I was a former student of his, right? So of course I would have his phone number. It's not that hard to find. And so you're telling me that you and John were talking and that he proposed to you? That's right. To be honest, I reached out to him, not the other way around, but he still proposed. Yeah, somehow I really don't think that's how things went. He didn't propose to you, and you two aren't getting married. You really need to snap out of this. I guess it's hard to digest for you, but there's no point in lying to yourself. Professor Gray and I have known each other ever since I was in high school, and I know he's liked me ever since then. Why else would we be getting married? I think it was probably the other way around. I think that you liked him ever since you were in high school. But I really don't think that you've ever stopped once to think about how all of this might be making John feel. You don't know what you're talking about. Sure, it's been some time since we last saw each other, but he was my first love, and I told him as much when I was his student. He told me that he appreciated my feelings, but that it would be inappropriate for a student and teacher to be in a relationship. So don't you get it? That was his way of telling me to come and find him when I was more grown up. And now 10 years have passed, and I am finally ready to marry him. When I saw you with Professor Gray, I knew that it was fate using you to bring us closer together. You really think that fate wants you to steal my fiancé from me? Well, of course. Haven't you ever watched a romance movie? There is always some kind of messy love triangle, but the mysterious girl from the past always gets the guy. Besides, I'm only doing what Professor Gray told me to do. I'm coming back to find him now that I'm no longer his student. This is finally our chance to be together. And that's why I told you that he and I were already engaged to be married. I didn't hear you once tell me how he proposed to you. You just jumped to that conclusion all by yourself. Come on, think about it. Or maybe you're just blinded by jealousy and can't see the point I'm trying to make. What point? You haven't demonstrated or proven anything. Now, there's no need to get so upset. Of course, I can't really blame you. After all, you've already introduced him to your parents and everything. I bet you never in a million years thought that I'd be the one to steal him from you. But I'm sorry. It's like I said, I'm only doing what he told me to do. He never told you to stalk him and try to marry him in 10 years' time. You know, this really is just getting sad. I had hoped that you'd finally snap out of this and face up to reality. The fact is that we're fated to be together, and now it's finally all coming to fruition. I am so sorry to steal him from you, so close to getting married, though. Well, you should know that I'm already with John on our honeymoon right now. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you don't know what you're talking about in the slightest. But you've really upset me with all of these messages, and you've basically ruined this honeymoon. But, wait, you two are on a honeymoon? Doesn't that mean that you two are already married then? That's right. We got married last week, if you must know, and we just left for our honeymoon today. Hold on a second. How could this happen? What do you mean you two married last week? I mean just that. We introduced each other to our families, and then we realized there wasn't really any point in waiting any longer. So we went to the courthouse and we had our wedding officiated last week. We've both already agreed that we're not really interested in a big wedding ceremony. So instead, we've just put all that money towards our honeymoon instead. So then, you two really left to go and be on your honeymoon yesterday? And you're telling me that you're really with Professor Gray right now? Well, I wouldn't call him Professor Gray, but yes, if you must know, I am on my honeymoon with my husband, understand? We both happen to have time off this week, and there were some good deals for tickets online, so we're spending the next weeks traveling all over Europe. This can't be happening. I refuse to believe it. You've got to be lying to me. Professor Gray was supposed to marry me, not you. You two can't be on your honeymoon. That's supposed to be my honeymoon. He's supposed to be my husband. What is going on here? I've told you what's going on, but you refuse to listen to what I have to say. But he's literally sitting here next to me reading these messages, and he said that he never got any messages from you. I really think that you need to go and get some professional help if you've been making this all up this whole time. I mean, you can't even tell the difference between reality and your insane fantasies. I'm not crazy, and they aren't fantasies. Professor Gray and I were supposed to be getting married. You're the one ruining everything. He proposed to me. We were meant to be together. Why are you doing this to me? I found his number and I reached out to him. Are you telling me that I wasn't even talking to the right person?
I'm sorry, Tia, but I think the number you got for me was just a number at the university I work at. You never had my personal cell phone number to begin with.
Wait a second. Are you Professor Gray?
That's right, it's me. I believe you took some classes of mine through the Advanced Studies program at your high school.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long. We're finally getting to talk.
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten all about you, but after Fiona told me about you, I went through my old records and pulled your file. I only remembered you because you were one of the girls who gave me chocolate on Valentine's Day. And I did remember that you cornered me one day and confessed the feelings that you had for me.
So you do remember. That's right. I told you all about how much I liked you, but you told me that we'd have to wait to be together. But now I'm all grown up and ready to be with you. Even though I might have dated some people in between now and then, I want you to know that I never forgot about you. It's so great to finally hear back from you. Can you please correct Fiona about all of this? You have to tell her that you proposed to me.
Tia, please. I just told you that you didn't even have my personal phone number. You only had a work number. None of your messages were even getting to me. They were connecting to a phone in the office.
But, I mean, even if that's true, I still should have been calling you at your work, right? And you did actually propose to me, right?
Well, I've actually been promoted, so I don't even teach anymore. I work more for the administrative side of the school. So I don't even use the kind of phone that you were trying to contact me on in the first place.
But then, all the messages I was sending...
I really have no idea whose actual number you were given, but I'd imagine if you were texting with anyone, it'd be another teacher.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that this whole time I wasn't even actually talking to you? So then, when you said that you remembered me and you proposed to me, I thought I was talking to you, but you're telling me that I wasn't talking to you at all? Then who the heck was I talking to?
I wonder if it's the new professor who we hired recently. Now that I think about it, he is in the office I used to have. And there have been some concerning rumours about how close he's been getting to students lately. So, I guess there is a chance that he might have been pretending to be me this whole time, if he thought it would get him closer to a woman. So thank you very much for sharing all of this information with me. This should serve as enough evidence to finally get rid of him.
But wait, what about me? You're telling me that this teacher lied to me? I was never even talking to you in the first place?
Well, that does appear to be the long and short of it. Really, so I do apologise for my staff. I'll be sure to present him with this new evidence as soon as I'm back at school from my honeymoon with Fiona. But we'll make sure that he is dealt with appropriately, and if possible, we'll seek to have him fired.
No, that's not what I wanted to hear. That isn't going to be enough. I don't want any kind of apology from you. I want you to marry me. Please, you have to. I'm begging you.
Tia, please, just stop this. We were never even talking, and I'd forgotten all about you.
Well, fine. If my message wasn't able to get to you the first time, then let me tell you again how much I love you. I loved you when I was your student, and I still love you now. Nothing has changed about those feelings that I have for you, so please don't leave me.
Tia, you seem to think that I was just waiting for you to grow up. Is that right?
Of course, that's what you told me. You told me that teachers and students shouldn't date, but I knew that you meant you just wanted me to be older. But now I am. I'm grown up and I am ready to marry you just like you said.
Well, I guess I can see how you might have been able to misconstrue those words, but the fact of the matter is that I never had any feelings for you. I didn't want to be mean and shut you down or turn you away, but I realise now that I should have been clearer with my language. So let me take this opportunity to say that I don't like you. I have no romantic feelings for you, and I most certainly don't want to marry you. Now, I would greatly appreciate it if you could leave my wife alone and quit bothering her over what is nothing more than a miscommunication.
So you don't like me? And you don't want to marry me?
That's right. And to be honest, I don't think it's healthy for you to be so obsessed with a high school crush. Especially one that you had on your teacher. In fact, do you remember all the trouble that you gave me when you were my student?
What do you mean? What trouble did I cause you?
Well, there were a lot of rumours that ended up flying around the school about me. They were saying that I was having inappropriate relationships with the students. When I finally managed to figure out the source of them all, it all had to do with the way that you would talk about me to other students. You put me in serious hot water with the administration. I had to work hard to prove that I had nothing to do at all with what you were saying.
But I never meant to do that to you.
Well, you did. So, I hope you can realise that you made things quite difficult not only for Fiona, but for me as well. So please, before this gets any worse, can you just leave us alone and forget all about this silly crush? Anyways, we're going back to enjoying our honeymoon. Have a nice life, Tia.
After that, Tia finally left us alone in peace to enjoy the rest of our honeymoon. When John got back, he talked to the problematic professor and he confessed to messaging Tia because he thought she was cute. He was fired shortly afterwards. Then John and I went to Tia's parents' house and told them all about what Tia had been doing to us. Her parents were furious and told her never to bother us again. I heard that afterwards, Tia ended up packing all her belongings and moving far, far away. We never heard from her again.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.